Let me tell you about Lucky 13. This ship this ship has a history. Lucky 13 was the kind of ship no one wanted. Not because there was anything wrong with it. It performed just fine. But there was this aura around it. You see, Lucky 13 had lost two full crews. Every single time the ship made it back intact, but not her crew. And that's strange, very strange, almost eerie. And of course, her serial number was also 13, which is not exactly a lucky number in some places. So here comes Carter, a rookie pilot, who gets assigned to Lucky 13, and also Chief Officer Jack. He walks up grinning and he's like, "Well, rookie, you're unlucky enough to get stuck with Lucky 13." He even jokes with the number, but Carter, nah, she brushes it off. She's not superstitious, it's just a machine, she says. But Jack shakes his head. Nope, aircraft have personalities, and Lucky 13, she's got a big one. So Carter goes on her first mission with Lucky 13. The enemy had hit one of their bases, so the team sent to investigate. Guess who gets put at the front of the line? Of course, Lucky 13. And we all know how that usually goes. The lead ship always takes the brunt of the attack. It's like being the first one through the door in a bad neighborhood. They land and everything is quiet for about 5 seconds. Then all hell breaks loose. They're exchanging fire and it becomes clear they've been compromised. Other ships start taking off. Some don't make it, and Carter gets an order to evacuate. But here's the thing. She spots men still on the ground, and Carter, she's not leaving anyone behind. She waits, heart pounding, as the last soldier scrambles aboard. And just then, the enemy fires a missile. It's coming straight for them. Carter is still waiting for that last guy. He jumps in and Carter is off. She fires flares, dodges the missile, and pulls away. But the enemy isn't done. They chase them into this canyon with these massive thick columns. It's like threading a needle, and Carter is flying like her life depends on it because, well, it does. Lucky 13's gunner is firing like crazy, but the enemy is using those columns as cover. Carter has an idea. She orders the gunner to target the columns instead. Then the columns collapse, taking the enemy ship with them. But there's no time to celebrate. As they exit the canyon, another enemy ship is right there waiting. And guess what? They're out of ammo. Of course, it's all on Carter now. She maneuvers like a pro, evading fire and gets close to the enemy. Then, in this insane move, she flips Lucky 13 upside down, flies parallel to the enemy ship, and fires flares straight into their cockpits. Boom, the enemy was down. And of course, they had victory for that day. So after they landed, everyone's celebrating, but Carter stays back. She's sitting in Lucky 13's cockpit, staring at the controls. And then, almost like she's talking to a person, she says, now here's the wild part. Lucky 13 has these sensors, like a personality monitoring system or something. It's almost like she's listening, which is kind of spooky. From there, Carter and Lucky 13 go on 19 more combat missions. Not a single casualty, not one. On 3 occasions, Lucky 13 was the only ship to come back intact. People started noticing. Carter gets offered a sleek new Black Hawk, top of the line, but she turns it down. She's bonded with Lucky 13, I guess. Then comes the mission that changes everything. They are sent to evacuate soldiers under heavy fire. The soldiers are thrilled when they see it's Carter and Lucky 13, but at takeoff, an enemy missile hits the wing. Lucky 13 goes down. They crash land and the enemy surrounds them. Carter orders her crew to evacuate while she stays behind, firing the cannon to cover them. But the enemy is relentless. They fire another missile and it's bad. Carter gets trapped in the cockpit, but manages to cut herself free. She's running out of options. Carter makes a gut-wrenching decision. She activates Lucky 13's self-destruct sequence. Before she runs, she whispers, "I'm sorry," and takes off. She's counting down, expecting the explosion, but it doesn't happen. She looks back and Lucky 13 is just sitting there. It's like the ship doesn't want to go. And then it happens. The enemy swarms Lucky 13, firing from all sides. They're on top of her, beside her, and then boom! Lucky 13 goes out in a blaze of glory, taking the enemy with her. It's like she waited for that perfect moment. Carter gets the Distinguished Flying Cross for her bravery. They give her one of those fancy Black Hawks, but she'll trade it in for one more flight with Lucky 13.
Hey, did you ever want to hold a terry fold? I got one right here. Grab my terry flap, squeeze it. Grab it, squeeze and tug on my terry flap. Hey, I want to take you to the terry fold.